Gerunds. Here are 4 ways to make gerunds, ing nouns that express a general activity. As in English, verbs can be used directly as gerunds. Example 1a, Mengelus Komodo sangat berbahaya. Petting Komodo dragons is very dangerous. Itu is often added for clarity. Example 1b, Mengelus itu juga mengganggu kanya. Petting also annoys them. These gerunds could also function as predicates. Example 1c, hal yang ku suka bukan mengelus komodo, melainkan berkomunikasi dengannya. My thing is not petting Komodo dragons, but instead communing with them. Verb mung verb forms express all things to do with and can also be used as gerunds. Example 2, tawar menawar, haggling. Untuk clauses that act as subjects can be converted to gerunds by removing untuk. Example 3, untuk mencari komodo tidak begitu mudah. To find a Komodo dragon is not that easy. Mencari komodo tidak begitu mudah. Same meaning. Peng-an combines with the verb bases to make various kinds of nouns, including gerunds. For example, penglihatan means seeing, sense of vision, and a view. Yang nominalization. Yang does 2 things. Yang nominalizes stuff. Komodo itu adalah yang pertama lahir di Amerika Serikat. Yang connects modifiers to nouns. Komodo yang berlidah cabang itu. Here's an inventory for uses of yang. Yang nominalizes stuff. Nominalization of adjectives. Example 1a, yang merah, the red one. Quasi-nominalization of subject-predicate phrases in mock passive, as described in the presentation about the passive voice. Example 2, Komodo itu tidak akan bisa kubunuh. The Komodo dragon is the one that I will not be able to kill. Nominalization of subject-predicate phrases, especially in the context of workarounds for awkward sentences. Example 3, siapa yang dimakan Komodo? Who is the one who was eaten by the Komodo dragon? Yang mana means which one. Example 4, yang mana yang menggigitmu? Which one is the one that bit you? Yang can be used to emphasize the demonstrative pronouns ini itu, but only in 2 contexts. When referring to something that is physically present. 5a, saya mau yang ini, I want this one. In 2 patterns that express as adjective as, se adjective, and sama adjective nya dengan. 5b, Komodo ini tidak sebuas yang itu, and Komodo ini tidak sama buasnya dengan yang itu. This Komodo dragon is not as fierce as that one. Yang connects modifiers to nouns. Relative clauses, Komodo yang tidak akan bisa kubunuh itu, the Komodo dragon that I will not be able to kill. Adjective emphasis, example 7a, Komodo buas, a fierce Komodo dragon, can be reworked as Komodo yang buas. And adjective organization, sifat ganas Komodo, can become sifat Komodo yang ganas, the vicious nature of Komodo dragons. As noted in the inventory above, yang nominalizes subject-predicate phrases in certain grammatical workarounds. These workarounds all relate to Indonesians' sensible preference for plain speech with real subjects and real objects. This preference has the practical effect that questions do not sound right to the Indonesian ear when the question's verb is linked directly to a question word pronoun, siapa, who, apa, what, yang mana, which, as a subject or an object. Also, the question word pronoun is not at the beginning of the sentence. That's also bad. Here's how yang fixes things. When the subject is a question word pronoun, and the sentence is an active question or a passive question, Yang converts the verb predicate to a noun to create a better sounding equative sentence. Example 1a, Siapa makan wisatawan? Who ate the tourist? That doesn't sound so good. Can be converted to Siapa yang makan wisatawan? Who's the one who ate the tourist? Example 1b, Siapa dimakan Komodo? Who was eaten by the Komodo dragon? Also awkward. Can become Siapa yang dimakan Komodo? Who is the one who was eaten by the Komodo dragon? That is also a keeper. Ditto for the corresponding indirect question. Example 1c, Saya tidak tahu siapa yang makan wisatawan. I don't know who is the one who ate the tourist. Conversely, when the object is a question word pronoun and the sentence is an active question or a passive question, the sentence is first reversed, and then yang converts the verb predicate to a noun to create a better sounding equative sentence. Example 2a, you start with Komodo makan siapa, the dragon ate who? Convert it to Siapa dimakan Komodo, who was eaten by the Komodo dragon. Finally, Siapa yang dimakan Komodo, who is the one who was eaten by the Komodo dragon. Example 2b, similarly, wisatawan dimakan siapa. The tourist was eaten by who? Siapa makan wisatawan, who ate the tourist. Finally, siapa yang makan wisatawan, who is the one who ate the tourist. That's a keeper. Ditto for the corresponding indirect question. Saya tidak tahu siapa yang dimakan Komodo. I don't know who is the one who was eaten by the Komodo dragon. In addition to nominalizing things, yang also modifies nouns. Generally, yang can be optionally inserted between a head noun and its adjective. However, here are some special cases. Yang is mandatory for relative clauses. Example 1, Komodo yang tidak akan bisa kubunuh itu. The Komodo dragon that I will not be able to kill. Yang is mandatory for adjectives that are phrases. Example 2a, Komodo lebih buas should be Komodo yang lebih buas, the fiercer Komodo dragon. Yang is prohibited for superlative phrases and too much phrases. Example 2b, Komodo yang paling buas should be reworked as Komodo paling buas. Example 2c, Komodo yang terlalu buas should be reworked as Komodo terlalu buas. Yang is mandatory for adjectives after pronouns, unless they're in questions. Example 3a, kamu beruntung is better as kamu yang beruntung. Example 3b, apakah kamu yang bahagia? Should preferably be apakah kamu bahagia. Yang is strongly preferred for adjective-like stative verbs. Example 4, Komodo berlidah cabang is preferably Komodo yang berlidah cabang. And yang is also strongly preferred for ordinal numbers. Example 5, Komodo pertama should be rewritten as Komodo yang pertama, the first Komodo dragon. Practice tip. Complex patterns of adjectives and relative clauses are trickier to organize in Indonesian than in English. English has the advantage that adjectives and relative clauses are split apart. Adjectives end at the noun, relative clauses start after the noun, and they're often delimited using which and commas. By contrast, all this stuff goes after the noun in Indonesian. As a result, Indonesian sometimes has to cope with ambiguities such as Komodo yang kucari. Is this a noun with a relative clause, the Komodo dragon that I'm looking for, or an equative sentence, the Komodo dragon is the one that I'm looking for? Itu works hand in hand with yang to organize noun modifiers. It plays a decisive role by delimiting the noun. Thus, Komodo yang kucari itu is a noun with a relative clause, whereas Komodo itu yang kucari is an equative sentence. Verbish nouns. Verbish nouns is my name for nominalized verbs that express the verb's action. The special case of passive-like adversative ke on verbish nouns is described in the presentation about the passive voice. Example 1a, kesambaran Sullivan oleh petir, the striking of Sullivan by lightning. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. The affix system also uses peng an to make verbish nouns. Example 1b, membunuh, to kill, becomes pembunuhan, a killing. As is the case for passive ter verbs and their informal ke-an counterparts, passive-like adversative ke-an verbish nouns must use ole to mark the agent. Example 2a, istrinya kesambaran, Sullivan ole petir. His wife is the one who suffered the striking of Sullivan by lightning. By contrast, ole is optional for pang-an verbish nouns. Example 2b, Komodo membunu, a Komodo dragon kills, can be turned into the verbish noun pembunuhan ole Komodo, killing by a Komodo dragon, and the ole is optional. In addition to optionally marking the agent with ole, the object can be optionally marked with terhadap atas dari for clarity. Example 2c, Komodo membunu wisatawan, a Komodo dragon killed a tourist, can be reworked as pembunuh oleh Komodo terhadap wisatawan, the killing by a Komodo dragon of a tourist. In the case where both the actor and the object are marked, the ordering is free. By contrast, if only one is marked, then it has to be the last one. Here's the general rule for how this plays out in sentences. If both the agent and the object are marked with prepositions, then the ordering is free. Example 3a, you can say pembunuh oleh Komodo terhadap wisatawan, the killing by a Komodo dragon or tourist, or pembunuh terhadap wisatawan oleh Komodo. If only one is marked, then it must be the last one. Example 3b, pembunuh oleh Komodo terhadap wisatawan. You could drop the ole. Or pembunuh terhadap wisatawan oleh Komodo. You could drop terhadap. Gentle reminder, ole is optional for all verbish nouns except for passive-like adversative ke-an verbish nouns. Again, example 2a, istrinya kesambaran, a Sullivan oleh petir. His wife is the one who suffered the striking of Sullivan by lightning. Take-home lessons. The affix system makes nouns by two pathways. In the indirect pathway, it uses the affixes peng, peng-an, an, ke-an to further modify the affixed verbs that it makes from bases. In the direct pathway, it combines these affixes directly with bases. Here are basic guidelines for the nouns made indirectly via affixed verbs. Peng makes nouns for the actor. Example 1a, panulis, a rider. Peng-an makes nouns for the action or result. Example 1b, panulisan, writing. An makes nouns for the object or result. Example 1c, tulisan, a writing. Here are basic guidelines for the nouns made directly from bases. Peng makes nouns for personifications, synonyms. Example 2a, pengotor, a polluter. Peng-an makes nouns for abstractions. 2b, pengotoraan, polluting or pollution. An makes nouns for embodiments. Example 2c, kotoran, filth. Ke-an makes nouns for abstractions. 2d, kekotoran, filthiness. Gentle reminder, exceptions abound. Yang does two things. It nominalizes things. Example 3a, Komodo itu, yang kucari. The Komodo dragon is the one I'm looking for. It connects modifiers to nouns. Example 3b, Komodo yang kucari itu, the Komodo dragon that I'm looking for. Verbish nouns optionally mark the agent with ole and the object with terhadap atas dari as needed for clarity. In cases where both the agent and the object are included, the ordering of each element is free and the marker of the second element becomes mandatory. Example 4, pembunuh terhadap wisatawan oleh Komodo, the killing of a tourist by a Komodo dragon. Here's our joke. Grammar. This series of video presentations includes original material that illustrates key concepts in Indonesian grammar. The following scene includes dialogue that is composed of model sentences based on this presentation.